Hello, welcome to this special video. My name is Jesse and my wife Diana. Today is a unique and a special day. The world over is talking about one thing. It's Valentine's Day. So love is in the air. And why not share something about this conversation and have this discussion with all of us here. Great, so Dan and I are going to be discussing love in the context of marriage. We've been married now for 7 years, and so our goal is to inspire people out there through our marriage so that our marriage can be an inspiration. It can be something that can help someone. Not that we are perfect, but we simply share experiences so that anyone out there can equally benefit from it. Great, so we are going to be talking about love in marriage. Great. That was inspired by yours truly. So all credit goes to her. So Dana, let's talk about love in marriage. When people get married, they are so excited, they are in love, and you can certainly see two people that are deep in love with each other. A few years down the road, things don't seem to be going right. How can we maintain that sparkle of love in marriage and carry it through? What are some of the things that you think one can do?
Okay. I think one of the things is understanding your partner's love language,
Okay.
and then doing what that love language is. And I think what helped us in the beginning is when we read that book, The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman.
Yeah.
And it shows how you feel loved.
Yes.
And so it gives the different love languages. It's physical touch, quiet,
Physical touch.
quality time.
Okay, quality
Words
time.
of affirmation, gifts, and the last one is
Acts of service.
acts of service.
Yes.
So knowing that there are particular things which make you feel loved. And then I think now when we knew that this is how I feel loved, then your partner is able to do the thing that makes you feel loved. So I think that's a one thing, knowing what it is, so that you're not showing someone, you think you're showing someone that you love them, yet they don't feel loved because you're using the wrong love language. Yes. And then, trying to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that you're filling up their love tank and their love tank is not empty.
True. We all have a certain attribute of each of those love languages. Take, for example, we all desire to be affirmed, so that is words of affirmation. Or we all aspire to spend good time with our loved ones, that's quality time. We all want to be hugged or given that warm touch, that is physical touch, or even someone to help us to do something, that is acts of service. So you realize that we all have an attribute of each of these love languages. However, what Diana is mentioning that is very critical is identifying what is it for your spouse that really resonates with them. Most times you'll find that two people often have the opposite, they are opposite of each other. So if, let's say, Diana's love language is quality time, mine is words of affirmation. And normally it comes out when someone says, how did I perform? They are asking for a compliment. They are asking, they want you to compliment them. If someone says, can we spend more time together? That is quality time. If someone says, when you come, bring me something, that is gifts.
Yeah.
So in your case, what was it like learning my language and speaking it?
It was so tough. And it was so tough because words of affirmation is my list. And so I didn't even understand why someone needs words of affirmation. So I really struggled for many years trying to bring out the words, because I felt like you know yourself, like you should affirm yourself. I felt like that. So it really took me a while to accept that if somebody feels loved in a certain way, show them love the way that they feel. So it really took me time. It was a struggle, but I think now I've improved.
So much. Just like it was also difficult for me to just be there and have quality time. Because I didn't really have this experience growing up, or even in my life generally. I always knew that I have to be on the go, I have to be doing things. So for me to just sit down and have that time, it was very difficult. Oftentimes when something came up, I was very quick to say, let me attend to that. Since we are always together, we can always fix our time. But I realized that was rubbing you the wrong way, and I have since learned to create that time where I can give you that attention. Quality time, by the way, can also be doing something together. For example, as we record this yesterday, we watched a movie. Yeah, so
a horrible movie.
Yeah, but the most important thing was the time, together.
Yeah.
So just having that time together, doing something. So as a couple, you might want to find activities that actually bring you together. For some, it is going out swimming. For others, it is going out maybe sightseeing. Others, it could be find any activity which brings the two together so that it can bring you together and bond you even closer. Great. So one is understanding love language. The second, I would think, is now that you know the love language, being consistent and being committed to speaking it. It's interesting that the author of that book called this a love language. It's like speaking a new language. I mean, if you are a Muchiga like me and you're learning how to speak Luganda, you'll not learn it in one day. You have to keep on making an effort until you can go to the market and you can have a good conversation with the people there or anywhere you want to speak it. So being intentional, being committed and consistent in speaking that one's love language.
Yeah, and I think even about being consistent is that if I know your love language is gifts, then I shouldn't give you one huge gift like every 3 months. Instead, break it down and say I will give you every week. I will give you a little gift.
Something.
Yeah, a little gift so that it's more consistent as opposed to giving one gift and you think, you'll be happy about it for like the next 3 months.
Yeah.
Or even if it's quality time. It doesn't mean I want to go for a fancy dinner, which you might only be able to afford once in 2 weeks. It could just be, let's sit down and take a cup of tea and talk for 30 minutes. Yeah, something like that. And have heart-to-heart conversation.
Yeah.
Not, how was the day? Fine. Oh my goodness, that thing used to annoy me. I want to know what happened. So you left here and left the gate. What happened? Like, what was the journey like? And you really struggled because it's not just about the quality time. Is part of it is quality conversation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I remember you used to say, make sure you don't come swinging your hands, meaning when you're coming, get something and pass through a supermarket. I used to buy things based on what is needed at home, but then I also learned that you can just buy something and just bring it and hand it over as a gift, so it's the thought that counts.
Or bring one flower. It doesn't have to be a whole bouquet of flowers. One is enough.
Yeah. Thank you. Great. And lastly, as we just thought about what is it that really keeps love in marriage blooming and blossoming, I think the third thing that came to mind is being intentional, making it work, putting in the effort. When we are in love, these things are automatic. You don't even think it, you just do it, You don't even think about sending that message to say, I'm just thinking about you. You don't even think about buying flowers, everything. You're just in autopilot. You're just in the automatic mode. But when you get married 2-3 years, now the even months in some cases, that wears out. Now it has to be intentional. It has to be deliberate. You literally have to carve out time even when you don't feel like. Yeah. And
even you can even set a routine and say, every week I will do this. Let's say every week I will buy my wife flowers, or every week we will go on a date night. So that it's scheduled. And it doesn't just just go with whenever we feel like we'll do it, because you will actually never do it.
True.
So and then also about being intentional is sometimes you just want to, especially depending on your personality. Now, like for me, sometimes I just want to be alone and do things on my own. But then I know that that's not beneficial to through the marriage, because we need to spend time together.
Yeah.
So even when I want to just sit and read a book and be alone, I'm like, this is not healthy for the marriage, especially if we've been away from the whole day and this is night, and then you want to be in your own things. You need to be intentional to spend time together.
Great. Thank you. So that has been it. So one is understand each other's love language. Secondly, be committed and consistent in speaking it. Do the small things that will help you to be committed and consistent. And then thirdly, be intentional. Make it work. Nothing works until you do. So all the couples out there and those that are yet to get married, I hope that that helps us to make this thing work. Marriage is a good thing. It's a great initiative that God gave us. And so I believe that the onus is on us to make it work. Let us put in effort. Let us make our marriages work. Because at the end of the day, if it is going to be, it is up to us. Happy Valentine's Day to all the couples out there. Wishing you all the best as you make your marriages what you desire and aspire to make them be. God bless you.